Greetings, fellow fans. In today's video, I have plenty of exciting updates, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. The NFL Draft is approaching, and I'm thrilled to discuss a few players who have caught my attention. Today, I'll be talking about athletes who might have been underestimated or overlooked, possibly even those you might prefer over the opinions of traditional analysts. Let's dive into 10 athletes that I believe have significant potential, one from each position, except quarterback, as the team in question isn't currently looking for a new one. Most of these players are expected to be drafted on day 2, with a few possibly going on day 3. Let's start with the running back position. Devin Neal from the University of Kansas is a player I've mentioned in previous conversations. He was the team captain several times and played a crucial role over his 4 years as a starter. Growing up in Lawrence, he chose to stay at Kansas instead of transferring to a larger institution, significantly contributing to the program's rebuild. I really appreciate his running style. He's a patient back who lets plays develop properly. In that sense, he's a bit like Le'Veon Bell. Although he doesn't have Bell's same explosive athleticism, he possesses solid speed and is a good receiver, which could be an asset in the NFL. While he might not stand out as a dominant back in every situation, I truly believe he could be a great complement in a running back rotation, with a strong chance of becoming starter. Many experts predict he'll be drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, but I see him firmly as a 3rd-round talent and wouldn't oppose him being drafted in the 2nd. For the team in question, it might not be ideal to select him in that position, but if he's chosen at pick 72, I'd consider it a solid choice. Now, shifting attention to the wide receiver position, Torrey Horton from Colorado stands out. I believe he's definitely a 3rd-round prospect, and I wouldn't mind seeing him selected in the 2nd round. Not necessarily for the team picking at the 19th or 21st spot, but if he were selected at pick 72, I'd find it entirely acceptable. As for the wide receiver position, let's talk again about Torrey Horton from Colorado. Once again, these aren't necessarily the players I prefer over others, like Matthew Golden, for example, but he's someone who may fly under the radar and prove to be quite competent in the professional league. This season, he only played 4 or 5 games due to injury, but he's now fully recovered and in good form. He had an impressive performance, running in the 4.4 range, and boasts a respectable size of over 6 feet and 220 pounds, accumulating over 1,000 yards in 2023. He has the ability to make big plays, and I value his versatility. He can play both in the slot and on the outside. So, if the team could select him in the 3rd or 4th round, he could fit well alongside key players like DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. He could compete with Ahmed Zaccheaus, Dion Duvere, and other members of the wide receiver group. I see him as a player with the potential to be a starter in the NFL. Now, let's talk about Mitchell Evans, the tight end from Notre Dame. I also have an optimistic view of him. He might not be the most explosive athlete, and I'm not sure he'll become a standout starter, but I believe he has the potential to be a solid starter or, at worst, a reliable number 2 in a tight end group. He had an impressive run during Notre Dame's playoff campaign, making key plays, including a crucial reception on a shoulder pass against Georgia in the 2nd round, which ended up being decisive. He also stands out as a blocker, and Notre Dame tight ends typically have strong NFL careers, having produced several successful athletes. For the team in question, after seeing Cole Kmet perform well, if Mitchell is available in the 4th or 5th round, that would be excellent value. I believe the 3rd round might be a bit early for pick 72, but I'm convinced he has the potential to be a solid professional and contribute as part of a rotation, with a possibility of developing into a starter. What do you think is the team's biggest need? Strengthening the wide receiver group or bolstering the tight end position? Personally, I'd lean slightly toward the tight end position. The dynamic being established has great potential for growth and may reveal a promising athlete. I'd love to hear your opinion. What is the team's primary need right now? Do you think it's better to add a player to the receiving group or prioritize the tight end position? Personally, I feel the tight end position deserves more attention, although it's feasible to add athletes to both areas, or even both positions. Now, regarding the offensive tackle that has been widely discussed, he is among the top prospects and should be selected in the first 2 or 3 rounds. While I don't think he's a 1st-round pick, it's common for teams to take a chance on players at this position, so it wouldn't be a surprise. He has an impressive athletic profile, with size and skills that qualify him as a potential high-level left tackle. At 6'6" and about 330 pounds, he has the length and agility needed, even though his foot speed is average. If he can improve in this area, it would be a significant step forward, but he has already shown progress throughout his college career. Ideally, he would refine his technique during a season, but if necessary, he could play as a rookie. He has all the necessary skills and has already shown experience and good performance, just needing to adjust a few details. I'm convinced he has the potential to become a standout left tackle in the league. An offensive lineman from the University of Arizona played both guard and tackle in the NFL. During the Big 12 Pro Day, he expressed a preference for playing guard, as he loves to dominate the ground game. From his statements and the clips I've watched, the word that comes to mind is intensity. He's an offensive lineman who plays with relentless drive, going hard until the final whistle. Once he gets his hands on an opponent, escaping becomes a tough task due to his effective strike. I see him as a potential starter for a decade, and I'm genuinely confident in that belief. A team will certainly select him in the first 2 or 3 rounds, and he will earn a starting role as a guard, playing for many years in the NFL. Showing versatility, he can play both guard positions and, if needed, also as a tackle, especially in the ground game where he excels as a rhythm setter and has the potential to shine. If he plays as a guard, he's likely to have a long career in the NFL. His versatility allows him to play both guard positions and even provides some snaps as a tackle, if necessary. In the ground game, he's a rhythm setter, and I believe he will become a relevant player in the league for many years to come. Thinking back to those childhood moments when you unpacked your favorite video game or a new console, those nights of gaming full of memorable wins and the excitement of friends gathering in the living room weren't just activities. They were a lifestyle, a defining experience. The right equipment can truly enhance that experience, especially when gaming with friends. A headset designed to relive that nostalgia brings gamers back to a golden age. The audio is richer, the surround sound more immersive, and the battery life impressive. There are certain points I agree with, and I especially appreciate his defense in a specific aspect. His performance last season for a college team was outstanding, nearly hitting double digits in sacks, with 11 tackles for loss in just 10 games. If he had played the full season, he likely would have surpassed 10 sacks. His pressure production was also significant, and while he is still developing and needs to improve his edge-setting skills in the run game, his potential as a pass rusher is clearly visible, with flashes of what he can offer. I believe he has the anchor and strength needed to become a more effective run defender, which can definitely be refined at the professional level. His measurable traits and athletic profile align well with expectations for players taken on day 2 of the draft. The range between 39 and 41 might be a little early, but I do see him at 72. We'll see if he's still available at that point. If he is, he would be one of the players from that range that excites me, and I believe he could immediately step into a rotational role with the potential to develop into a starter in the future. Moving on to another athlete, evaluating the defensive tackle position was challenging as there are several players I admire. I really like another athlete and many others in the second round, but I see this player more as a third-round prospect, as I'm not sure about his contribution as a pass rusher. However, the intriguing perspective of an expert, along with the clips and footage I've watched, really puts things in a new light. A fascinating stat about this player is that the average depth of tackles against runs by a specific team last season was just 2.11 yards, with the next closest team averaging 2.75 yards. This team allowed only 85 runs of that type, ranking 104th in the nation, which shows teams didn't often challenge them. On 29 of those attempts, there was a tackle for loss or no gain, indicating that almost a third of the time teams ran through the A-gap, they ended up losing yards. This is a strong indicator of this player's impact, as he finished 4th in tackles for loss or no gain when attacking through the A-gap, despite allowing one of the lowest numbers of attempts. This stat is remarkable, and he was the primary reason for it, playing a key role in the defense that helped the team reach the college football playoffs. As a run defender, he's very pragmatic, While I'm not convinced he's a player who'll play every snap, he can definitely contribute on early downs. If a certain team decided to select him, I believe that a specific player would be ideal to mentor him, to be completely honest. As part of a team that reached the playoffs, I believe he's a run defender and a very practical player. I'm not sure if he'll be an athlete who plays all snaps, but on early downs, he can certainly perform well. If this team chose him, I think a specific player would be perfect to guide him, to be absolutely frank. Currently, we're very close to reaching 120,000 subscribers, with just 63 left. I'm fully confident that there are 63 dedicated fans watching now who would love daily content about a team and would be willing to subscribe, as I believe this is possible and would be extremely grateful. It's free, doesn't cost anything, just click the button and you're subscribed. Simple as that. We're almost at draft time, and now is the perfect time to join the community. I'm incredibly thankful for the support. Speaking of a few more players, another athlete I selected for a team in a recent mock draft, for those who watched that video, I decided that after a player from a certain team, whose name escapes me, he became my second favorite linebacker from this draft. I liked other athletes, but many of them are older, while this player is just 22, meaning almost an additional full contract. I believe he's a play-every-down type of player, competent in covering the entire field, and can be used in blitz situations if needed. His measurements are 6'3", weighing 260 pounds, and many modern linebackers weigh around 230 pounds, so he still offers a good combination of size and speed. Therefore, this is an option I find interesting, and I believe the team will look to add an athletic linebacker at some point. They let a player go for a reason. They are seeking a more athletic player, and I see this player as a great opportunity to become their third linebacker this year, rotating with others and playing as a Sam linebacker in the base scheme, possibly taking the mic or will position in the future. One of the class favorites is a safety from a renowned university. Had he had a healthy season, I believe he would have had a chance of being drafted in the first round, but now he's likely to be a day 2 pick, meaning second or third round. For me, he's in the 72 range, and if he's available, he's someone I'd love to consider. He's healthy now, had a great combine, ran a 4.51 6 months after a major surgery, which is truly impressive. There's considerable potential for him to be selected in the first round, although his current tendency is more toward a day 2 selection, possibly in the second or third round. Right now, he's positioned in the 78 range. If he's available, he'll definitely catch attention. He's healthy now, performed well in evaluations, and ran a 4.51, which is impressive considering he's only 6 months removed from an ACL surgery. When training camp starts, he should be fully prepared, and there's genuine excitement around his potential. The safety position is undoubtedly a concern for the team, and just like another player from the same university, they might consider a prospect like him. Another player to keep an eye on is a guy who was seen at a recent evaluation event. There are differing opinions about his draft status. While some view him as a 4th-round pick, he might actually be selected on day 2. He has a good combination of size and speed, measuring 6 feet tall and running in the 4.4 range. Additionally, he demonstrates solid ball skills and has proven to be a leader on his team. It's unlikely that the team will draft a cornerback in the 1st or 2nd round, but if he falls to the 3rd day, he might pique their interest. This is a player worth watching. These are just a few of the prospects being considered for this year's draft. What are your thoughts on non-first-round picks? Who do you think should be selected? Feel free to share your views, and stay tuned for more updates as the draft approaches. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that could shake up the NFL landscape, rumors are swirling that the Chicago Bears are setting their sights on acquiring one of the league's brightest stars, Justin Jefferson. The Minnesota Vikings wide receiver, who has taken the NFL by storm since his rookie season, is reportedly on the radar of the Bears as they look to bolster their offensive arsenal. But with Jefferson's recent contract extension making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, the question remains, is a trade possible, and what would it mean for the Bears' future? Jefferson, The young wideout from LSU has shattered records ever since stepping onto the NFL stage in 2020. In just 5 seasons, he has earned 4 Pro Bowl selections and All-Pro honors. His remarkable ability to consistently produce big plays has made him a favorite target and a nightmare for opposing defenses. Not only did he lead the NFL in receiving yards and receptions in 2022, but he also became the youngest player in history to achieve such a feat, with Jefferson now under a 4-year, $140 million contract through 2028. The Vikings seem committed to keeping their star. But Chicago is hoping that a significant offer might tempt Minnesota to consider a trade. For the Bears, the addition of Jefferson could be a game-changer. The team has struggled to find a true number 1 receiver, and Jefferson's arrival could provide a much-needed boost to their passing attack. With quarterback Justin Fields showing promise, adding a dynamic playmaker like Jefferson could elevate the entire offense, making the Bears a legitimate contender in the NFC North. The Bears front office is reportedly keen to make a splash, and Jefferson's unparalleled skill set could be the key to finally putting them back in the playoff race. However, the financial commitment required to acquire Jefferson would be steep, with his new deal making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Any potential trade would likely involve a substantial amount of cap space. Additionally, the Bears would need to work out the logistics with the Vikings, who have been reluctant to part with their star receiver despite his growing price tag. Chicago's interest in Jefferson, while exciting, may hinge on their ability to manage these financial hurdles and convince the Vikings that the time is right for a deal. As the 2024 season progresses, all eyes will remain on both the Bears and the Vikings. Will Chicago's pursuit of Justin Jefferson turn into a reality, or will the Vikings hold on tight to their star player? One thing is certain: if the Bears manage to land Jefferson, it would mark a monumental shift in the NFC North and could set the stage for a thrilling new chapter in the NFL. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.